Imagine embarking on your very first cruise in 2019, not knowing that the cruise life will not only become a lifestyle for you and your family, but also a lucrative business opportunity. Imagine going on 50 cruises over the course of 4.5 years, exploring the breathtaking views of glaciers in Alaska, the vibrant colors of tropical fish while snorkeling in the Caribbean, or the awe-inspiring sight of ancient ruins along the Mediterranean coast. Each cruise offering a chance to immerse yourself in different cultures, sampling local cuisine, exploring historical landmarks, and engaging with people from all around the world. Along the way, you become a seasoned cruiser, navigating the onboard activities with ease, whether it's enjoying a gourmet meal, catching a Broadway-style show, or simply lounging by the pool with a good book. Well, I don't have to imagine because I've done it, and I'm going to share my experience with you and answer some questions that I have been asked over the last few years. Hi, I'm RacQuelle from MHFamilyAdventures. Welcome to our channel. We are a family who absolutely loves cruising, and we share all of our adventures here on YouTube, over on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the social media platforms. And we release a full-length cruise vlog every Friday night and share cruise tips and shorts throughout the week. So if you love cruise vacations as much as we do, or you are curious about what it's like to cruise, be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on that notification bell. So yes, over the last 4.5 years, I have embarked on 50 cruises. Well, actually 51 cruises at the time of recording this video. And I'm actually preparing to board my 52nd cruise in just 2 weeks. So over half of these cruises were with my family, my husband Ron, my 2 sons Andrew and Dice, and daughter Jo Marie. But many of them were either solo cruises, girls trips, or cruising with friends. If you have been following along on our journey, you know that 1 year ago, I resigned as a school administrator after being in the education field for 19 years. I did this to focus on our family's small business, a cruise travel agency, Major Adventures Travel, and to create travel content full time. And so far, I have absolutely no regrets at all. Has it been challenging? Yes, but it has been one of the best years of my life. I have cruised on many different cruise lines, including our family's favorite, Carnival, as well as MSC Cruises, Princess Cruises, Disney Cruise Line, Celebrity Cruises, and a few others. And we have plans to cruise on some new lines really soon. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video for a hint of a special bucket list cruise I will be taking soon. We have also been sponsored by a few of these cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean, MSC Cruises, Princess Cruises, Margaritaville at Sea, as well as various tour companies, hotels, and day pass companies such as Resort for a Day. And our list of partnerships is continuing to grow, and we are beyond thankful for all of these amazing opportunities. So I've compiled a list of questions that I've been posed about cruising as many times as I've cruised over these years, and I'm here to answer these for you. So if you have another question that I don't answer in this video and you would like to have it answered, please feel free to drop it in the comments. Let's get started. So my very first cruise was on board Carnival Sensation back in 2019. It was actually June of 2019. It was a girls trip. We visited Half Moon Cay, Nassau, and Grand Turk. And that truly set me up for my cruise addiction. Had a wonderful time. Now, Carnival Sensation has since been decommissioned, but just the fun that I had on Carnival really showed me that, cruising was for me. The value that was offered cruising was unmatched. In fact, our family, right after I had that cruise, we decided to cruise out of California. We had another trip planned, a land trip. And because I loved it so much, we decided to cancel our land portion of the trip. And we decided to go on board Carnival Imagination. So first cruise, Carnival Sensation, had a wonderful time and decided to book another one. So fave cruise line. So I would say collectively as a family, our favorite cruise line is Carnival Cruise Line. And that's just because they bring the fun and they have an amazing value for families. But if I were to select a cruise line that I would prefer to cruise solo as my favorite, it's kind of a draw between Princess Cruises and Celebrity Cruises because they both add a level of like mid-luxury cruising, great values, amazing food, amazing entertainment. I've enjoyed both Princess Cruises and Celebrity. Favorite destination? I would say so far my favorite destination has been going solo, or not solo, with my sisters, going to the Mediterranean. So that's been my favorite destination thus far. As far as for the family, our favorite destination would be Alaska. We enjoyed being on board Carnival Splendor back in 2022, I believe. We took our first trip to Alaska, and that was probably our favorite destination. But of course, we love the Caribbean as well. No, I don't think frequent cruising is unhealthy. In fact, I believe that travel in general, cruising as a whole, it actually helps to improve your life quality. And that's just my personal opinion. No science behind it, but I'm sure there is some science behind it. I just feel like I'm happier when I'm traveling, happier when I'm cruising. And you get out there and you can learn about other cultures, about other places. You can see the world and have fun. And I find it to be very relaxing. Not to say at home is stressful or work or anything like that, but for me, I feel like, cruising just really gives you an opportunity to relax. You can enjoy some of the activities on board. You can eat. You don't have to worry about, figuring out what you're going to eat, what you're going to do. So it just takes away some of the stress that you have, day to day, or even land-based travel. So no, I don't think that frequent cruising is unhealthy. But I can see that, if you are frequently cruising and you're drinking often and you're eating unhealthy and you're eating like you wouldn't eat at home, yeah, absolutely, that could be unhealthy. I do try to balance things when I cruise. So where you might see things in the vlog, remember, what you see in the vlogs may not actually be exactly what happened. So you might see me in the vlog with a drink or two, and it may appear that I'm drinking all day. That's more than likely not the case. Or you might see me eating back to back in the videos, but keep in mind there probably were gaps of time in between me eating. And I may not eat everything that you see on my plate. It could be that I'm showing you guys what's available and sampling food to present to you guys. So cruising unhealthy? No, not at all. Yes, cruising can be expensive, but there are ways that you can combat that. For one, make sure you use a travel advisor, cruise specialist who cruises and travels frequently. Again, we own a travel agency, Major Adventures Travel. Feel free to reach out to us when you're ready to book your next cruise. But booking in advance can help save money. Looking at destinations for your family where you don't have to plan like excursions and things. Find like beach destinations. Book shore excursions through third-party vendors. You can save money that way. So there's things that you can do to save money when cruising. Limit getting drink packages or adding on extras or specialty dining. Those things aren't necessary to cruise. It makes the cruise experience a little bit more enjoyable, but they're not necessary. So yeah, cruising can be expensive if you're doing it regularly, but it doesn't have to be. And of course, that leads into the next question: how can we afford it? So I've answered this question. This is probably the number one question asked on our channel, is how can we afford the lifestyle that we have? And just a few things. First off, we both have, again, I retired from education after 19 years. My husband has a really nice career. So we went to college. I'm a doctor. And so we've made some pretty good life choices over the years. And that kind of affords us the lifestyle that we have now. We live a very frugal life at home, so we're not the type that you see going out to eat often or going out and about. Typically, when we cruise, that is what we do. When we're home, we are homebodies, and we're not out and about eating and dining and drinking and going to different things. We do like to go to shows and Broadway shows and concerts and things, but we live a pretty frugal life. And also, we're at a point where, thankfully, because of our subscribers, our followers, our channel is growing, and because of that, we are starting to get sponsored by cruise lines, by tour companies, and so we're at this time we're probably only paying for about close to half of our cruises. So it does not have any effect on what we share with you guys and our opinions of the cruise lines, as you probably see if you watch our videos. But a lot of our travel is being sponsored and paid for by companies, so that is a blessing in itself. And that helps us to be able to do this more. So the more I travel, the family travels, cruises, we post, we share, we get paid not only from the cruise lines if they're sponsoring us that way, but we put those videos out, we get paid from social media. And the best thing about this, when I mentioned the lucrative business, is that the more I cruise, the more I travel, the more cruises I book. So our travel agency is doing extremely well. In fact, I just hit last year's total. We're less than 6 months in this year, and I've already hit last year's total in sales. So this is going to be an amazing year. So thank you to all of our clients who booked through us. But yeah, that's how we can afford it. We have a really great business, careers, and we're getting sponsored. So it makes it affordable for us. Yes, I will be very honest. There are times when I may get a little bored of cruising and I need to take a break. When you cruise and you cruise on certain cruise lines over and over again, I mentioned Carnival is our favorite, but there was a period where I think I did 4 back-to-back Carnival cruises and I was getting a little bored. And that's because if you cruise, you'll notice that cruise lines tend to have the same activities, the same shows across many of their ships. And so, of course, I go into it highlighting and vlogging the experience for our viewers. But there are times when I'm kind of twiddling my thumbs like, okay, I've seen this show, I've done this before, what else can I see or do? So that's where cruising on multiple cruise lines, different itineraries help spice that up. And so I've gotten to a point where you probably have noticed that I'm starting to cruise on other cruise lines like Princess Cruises, Royal Caribbean, MSC. So that really makes it exciting. So cruising as a whole is not boring, but when I'm there doing a job of creating content, when I'm having to produce the same content over and over because I'm recording the same things because of the same cruise line or the same types of ships or what have you, that can be sometimes redundant, but it's still fun. But there are some times where I'm kind of like, okay, what can I do? I'm bored, or I just sit, relax, read a book or what have you. But overall, is cruising boring? Absolutely not. But the frequency that I'm doing it can be if I don't mix it up sometimes. Packing. Packing is my least favorite thing of traveling as much as I do. So I get asked all the time, can I do a packing video? I just can't, guys. Packing is so stressful for me. But I can tell you that because I travel so often now, my suitcase is almost always packed. So those essentials usually stay in my suitcase. I'll just replenish as needed. And then I, take any clothes I need to get washed, I wash, and then sometimes I just repack them. I am not the type of content creator that has to have all these fancy outfits or multiple outfits. You're going to see repeat outfits in our vlogs. For me, it's just that ease. That's the lifestyle we live. I'm not going to portray something else on camera. So we pack lightly as a family. You may even see in the same 7-day series that we wore the same thing. We'll alternate tops and things like that. But as far as like bathing suits and things, we pack light. We travel on budget airlines usually. And so we pack lightly. We wash clothes on the cruises if they have laundry facilities available. And so we pack as little as we can to get by. Don't pack a whole bunch of shoes. Typically, I have a pair of flip-flops or water shoes. I'll have a nice pair of dress sandals for dinner. I'll have a pair of sneakers in case you're doing like an excursion that requires sneakers or closed-toed shoes. And then I have a pair of water shoes that I wear pretty much the entire cruise. So, and they're like the sneaker-based water shoes. So just pack light. We're very strategic in what we take with us. Because again, packing is stressful. And when you have to pack, 2 or 3 times a month to take different cruises, it just makes it easier to dump the suitcase out, wash, replenish whatever you need to, and repack it. That makes it easy for us. Favorite Caribbean itinerary. Although I have not done Bonaire yet, I would have to say the Southern Caribbean has kind of stolen our hearts. We recently went to Aruba and Curacao. Absolutely love those 2 islands. I also don't, I personally love a private island, meaning I love Half Moon Cay is probably one of my favorite cruise line private islands because it's a simple beach day. And actually it was the first private island that I visited back in Carnival Sensation back in 2019. Coco Cay. So I love a private island because you don't really have to do anything. It's a beach day. I love to snorkel. So I'll do that. But yeah, my favorite Caribbean itinerary I think so far has been the Southern Caribbean. We absolutely love pretty much all the islands. St. Thomas is my favorite island of all time. We were visiting St. Thomas before we even started cruising. So that's my favorite island, but I would have to say that Southern Caribbean itinerary. So being a travel advisor, at times I may receive some perks or discounts. Depends on the cruise line. Some cruise lines, if you have certain trainings, for instance, Princess Cruises, if you complete all of your training with Princess and you're a certified Commodore status, then every time I cruise Princess Cruises, I'll be elite status, and I get special perks. Elite is their highest tier. So get some amazing perks through Princess, being elite status. Sometimes you can book interline or travel agent rates. Having good connections with my business development managers or strategic account managers sometimes will afford me either familiarization trips where you go and you're learning about the product or learning about the cruise line, and sometimes those are free, sometimes they're discounted. And then, of course, working with different sponsors, we're able to get comped, sometimes paid opportunities. Now, I say this because I get this question a lot about, I want to become a travel agent or a content creator so I can travel as much as you do. Again, we pay for a lot of what we share with you guys. Right now, we're at a point where it's about half and half, where we're paying for about half of our travel, half of it we're not. But it wasn't always like that. So keep in mind that don't go into content creation or travel agency because you want to get perks, because it's not created equal for everyone. I mean, there's other content creators, other travel advisors that may not travel as much as we do or have the same opportunities. It's based on sales. It's based on, your clients, is based on the subscribers and the fan base that you have. A lot of things are based on numbers. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, there are discounts. There are some perks. But right now, the biggest perks that we're getting are working directly with the cruise lines, the tour companies, and getting either comped or paid travel. Again, that's a lot of hard work. It's not something that you can just say, hey, today I'm going to be a content creator or a travel advisor, which I will be here in the near future, creating not a masterclass, but a session where you can come and chat with me to talk about becoming a travel advisor, as well as trying to land some deals with different tour companies. But yeah, the business of what we do get some free comp discounted travel, either through the travel agency side as well as through the content creation side. So our favorite time of the year to travel is going to be usually when it's most expensive, and that's going to be when kids are out of school. So like summer break, holidays, and that's because we have more time as a family to travel and cruise during those times. Keep in mind, it is more expensive to cruise during those times. But personally, I don't feel there's a bad time to cruise. We cruise, people say, do you cruise in hurricane season? Yes. And thankfully, we have not experienced any inclement weather. But yeah, I think any time is a good time to cruise. The weather in the Caribbean is always going to be relatively warm. Of course, certain points of the year, it's going to be warmer. But yeah, I think any time is a good time to cruise. But if you're trying to cruise budget friendly, then definitely do off season when kids are in school. That'll save you some money. Yeah, so anytime is a good time to cruise. Yes, so a partnership or deal that I would absolutely love to land would be with Carnival Cruise Line, considering they are our very favorite cruise line. We've cruised with Carnival more than any other cruise line. We've produced more content, more Carnival content than any other cruise line. We would absolutely love to have a partnership with Carnival. Yeah, so they are kind of our dream list, our goal. So that's one of our ultimate goals, is to work with Carnival Cruise Lines as a family, because we do believe that Carnival, again, offers great values for family. They are very inclusive. As far as you guys know, we travel with our son who has autism. They're very inclusive and accepting of individuals with disabilities or special needs, very accessible. So we absolutely love Carnival. We would love to work with them. Yes, I miss my family a lot when I cruise. In fact, you probably noticed that when I do a lot of solo cruising, I tend to try to stick on the shorter cruises, like 4 or 5 nights. I have done a couple 7-night cruises here lately, but I absolutely miss cruising with the family. Now, I will be very honest in saying that cruising solo, especially, like I said, about half of my cruises have now either been solo or with my sisters or friends or what have you. I would say it's easier, but I do miss the family. It's easier as far as like the content creation side. It's easier, as far as the packing and getting up and going. I don't have to wait. I don't have to, you know what it is. If you have a family, you know how that can be. So absolutely, I do miss them when I cruise solo, but it is part of what I do. And I guess the last question is, why do I cruise as much as I do? Point blank, I guess it's because it helps grow my business. So it helps grow the travel agency as well as grow the content creation side. Again, I'm getting paid from both sides. I did share a video at the end of 2023 that shared what I made on YouTube. I can tell you that we're already at the point now where we a little more than double that. So be sure to check that video out. But I cruise as much as I do because, for one, it gives me an opportunity to create content to share with new cruisers, family cruisers, people that are interested in cruising as a whole. Our vlogs are very informative, so I like to share that educator in me. I want to share what cruising is like and how to do it. And the more I cruise, the more bookings I make. And that's just a science behind it, that when I step on a cruise ship, I get more inquiries. I get more people wanting to know about what I'm doing because I share and post on social media as well. And so it helps to grow my business. So it goes hand in hand. The more I cruise, the more perks I get, the more content I can create. I get paid from social media and I get paid from the travel agency. So for me, it's a win-win. I can travel, have fun, create content, and make some good money. And I guess that's about it. 50 cruises and in 4.5 years, guys, I honestly could not believe that I had been on that many cruises. I track my cruises through the Shipmate app. And at some point I started counting. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been on all of these cruises. And I will say this though, because I did get asked this question. So I've been on 50 cruises. And I would say out of those 50 cruises, probably 5 of those were repeat ships. So keep that in mind. So probably 45 cruises different cruise ships have I been on, but 51 cruises now overall. But yeah, it just happens so fast. And like I said, I'm at a cadence now where I'm cruising once or twice per month because I'm doing this now full time. I do plan to continue doing this full time through the rest of 2024, and 2025 is kind of the plan because things are looking good and the business is growing. And like I said, we're starting to be noticed by some brands and cruise lines and tour providers. So that's kind of our ultimate goal, is to continue to grow our business, to continue encouraging and inspiring families, or not just even families, anyone to get out there, cruise, travel, see the world, and do it in a budget-friendly way. We are not luxurious by far, although we might be trying a luxury line here soon. But yeah, that's our ultimate goal, is to get people out there cruising and to see that cruising can be affordable and that cruising is all inclusive and it's meant for everyone. So 50 cruises, 51 cruises. It's been a wonderful ride. So guys, if you appreciate cruise content, if you appreciate, family cruise vlogs, cruise tips, anything like that, definitely be sure that you like this video, subscribe to our channel. We are on a mission to reach 20,000 subscribers. We are about 1,700 shy of our goal. So we're trying to reach 20,000 before July 1st. So if you could help us out by making sure you subscribe, share our channel out, we would greatly appreciate it. And be sure to follow us on our social media platforms. We post pretty much daily on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and join those platforms for us. And we just want to thank you guys for all of the support that you've shown us over the last 2.5 years of us vlogging and having our channel. We really do appreciate all the love and support that we receive. And so let's see. Right now, I'm at 51 cruises. I think by the end of 2024, I will probably hit 62 cruises. So I'm going to put a hint up here right now so you guys can see where I may be off to soon. And be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are notified when these vlogs come out. Take care, guys.